Hello everybody, it's me, GhostCritic, and here we are with Sunday's comic book reviews. Every Sunday I let you know what I thought about the books that I picked up on Wednesday, and this week, to be fair, it was kind of average. Not that the comics that I read were particularly bad, there was just nothing that really wowed me this week. I think there was 5 books that I picked up this week, and I just thought, oh phew, it's a quiet week, I'll be able to really get into these books, I'll have a little bit longer to talk about them, but there wasn't a great deal to say. So this video will probably be shorter than usual if I stop rambling away, and we're going to kick off. People have asked me in the past how I choose the order that they go in, and I don't really have an order as such. I do kind of leave the last one to be my pick of the week, whether it's probably just the best of that week or it does actually deserve to be that top book. Again, just to put this out here, I am going to be talking plot points and storylines going on in these books, so if you see me pick up a book that you haven't read yet, fast forward the video until you can't see that issue again, because that means I'll have stopped talking about it and it's on to the next one. So, spoiler warning, spoilers. Going to kick off this week with Dan Slott and the Aldreds Silver Surfer issue number 9, and we've waited for this one for quite some time. It's been on a little bit of a hiatus, and after the end of the last issue where there seemed to be a kind of finality approaching, I was very excited for the next storyline to see where Dan Slott was going to go with the Silver Surfer, because these titles don't tend to go on for too long. Yes, they come back again and again, but they're not like ongoing series like your X-Men's or your Batman's or your Spider-Man's and such like. So I was expecting big things for this first issue, and I kind of got a bit of a deja vu, to be honest, as Silver Surfer is once again taking his partner Dawn Greenwood around the planets, and we saw, I don't know if it was last issue or the issue before, he was taking her to all these very safe planets where there was no likelihood of putting Dawn into danger. And you kind of got that impression, and even Dawn did, as she says in the book, the feeling that he's taking her to planets unlikely to have drama in them, but this time they're all kind of really dirty, disgusting and smelly places, and they eventually land on this planet called Incandescent 4, and it's a wonderful place, it's a beautiful place, it looks almost perfect, and it's obviously too perfect to be true. As the story progresses, we find out that all the inhabitants of this planet are actually kind of like holograms. Their souls have been extracted and put into like little canisters or whatever, and this is to stop them from ruining another planet. It's not called Incandescent 4 for nothing. They've ruined 3 other planets, and they finally kind of come to their senses in a kind of way, and realised it's themselves that are ruining the planet, so they've kind of removed their souls from their body, put them into storage, so to speak, and they are now holograms. And along the way, this is what happens to Dawn, as she wants to go and spend a penny in the nearest toilet. This is unthinkable to the population, and she is made a hologram, and her soul is taken away and stored like everyone else on the planet. And this causes now 2 versions of Dawn Greenwood. I've got a feeling that probably will go into play later on in this storyline. That's bound to turn up again as our original Dawn and Silver Surfer head off to new space adventures for the next few issues. It's just going along. I wanted something big to start this off. Maybe there are kind of little seeds that will grow and build into something bigger, but will this title go on long enough for them to kind of really fully bloom? I don't know. But this issue was just a little bit same old, to be honest. Issue number 18 of DC's The Flash. Joshua Williamson doing a great job for new and old fans alike on this title. We've got the start of a new story, Sins of the Father, as our Kid Flash is determined to go and find out where his father is. Reverse Flash, or one of the versions, I believe. I'm not really on top of my Flash history, so it sounds like there's more than one Reverse Flash going on in our new Rebirth universe. But this is very much about, you know, father-son relationships. Again, the whole idea of Flash keeping his identity from those he's close to because he doesn't want to put them in danger. But I got a feeling this is going to come out very, very soon, and Iris and our Kid Flash are eventually going to find out, and who knows what kind of drama that is going to unfold from that. But they go off to I think it was Bellevue or Belrevere, the prison for supervillains, and they get to meet up with Waller, the head of the prison, who lets them off just because, you know, Suicide Squad and the Justice League crossover, which I never read, but apparently Justice League did them a favour, and so she lets them off for literally breaking and entering really the prison without any warrant or any permission. Again, it was a good issue of The Flash. It's building on a new storyline, and we'll just see where it goes. But again, it was another issue of kind of okay, let's move things along. Issue number 18 of Wonder Woman's, and I think this is the second issue of Godwatch. And in the last issue, which is in the present day, we saw Barbara Minerva take that sacrifice and become the cheetah again. And it was in this issue that we see the original changing of Barbara Minerva into Cheetah, and how Wonder Woman let her down, not on purpose, as we have our kind of evil corporation looking to bring Wonder Woman down. And we have this character who died a couple of issues ago, using that kind of cybernetic costume appliance you know, the doohickey that could go into people's minds, and unfortunately the person who was using it died while using it. But this head of the corporation managed to extract I guess the essence of her friend, and now we have Dr. Cyber. I don't know if this is a new villain for Wonder Woman or it's an ongoing one. It's another thing that I'm going to have to look into, the history of Wonder Woman and all her villains that she's been up against. But we seem to have the kind of the origin of this character, and Dr. Cyber is keeping Wonder Woman let's say busy with catastrophes all over the world, distracting her from going to save Barbara Minerva as she does her kind of Indiana Jones archaeology thing, looking for a route, a map to Themyscira. What I did like about this issue is the new artist on here, Bilquis Evely. I like the style that this person has. It's kind of It looks very fresh, it looks very clean, it's very bright in places. It's got a kind of almost golden age, silver age feel to it, which really helps in these kind of looking back storylines, the past storylines, the flashbacks I guess you could call them. And it's a nice kind of panel work there showing Wonder Woman doing all her good deeds as she was being distracted. So yes, I'm really interested in this new storyline, Godwatch. Greg Rucka once again doing great work on this title. Penultimate issue this week is Remender's Low, issue number 16, and again this is another book that we haven't seen for a while. Remender obviously very busy with all the rest of his Image title that he's got on the go. A lot of balls he's juggling in the air, and I don't know whether Low gets as much attention as all the others, or as he says in the back of this book, if you read kind of like the back matter on here, I think he finds this book the most hard to write, as he's really writing a book about hope in this kind of post-apocalyptic world where the surface has turned too hot to live in. So our population have had to live underwater in these kind of Atlantean underwater cities. And it's kind of, like I said, it's had a break, and you expect to go back at least to where he finished off, moving the story along. But instead we get another flashback of the kind of main family's son, Marek, who, if you can remember that far back, had been captured in this underwater city of Paluma. And he is this kind of underwater gladiator fighting for his freedom, essentially, having to beat so many people in this big arena. And as great as it is, and you know, Remender hints at the back of this that, you know, it does feel strange that, you know, our first issue back is a flashback, but there are points in here that you need to pick up because it's going to bear some actions on what will happen in the main present day story. One thing in this book, we have a different colorist on here. It was Dave McCaig, and you can certainly see the difference. The pages don't look as murky, and really kind of bring out Ticini's pencil and artwork on here. Makes the pages pop a lot more, which you know, they weren't bad by any stretch of the imagination before, but there seems to be a brighter look to this, a more clear look. But lots of action in this book as we have battle after battle in this arena. Nice little kind of wraparound cover there as well, also from Ticini. This is kind of one of Remender's books that I feel doesn't get as much attention as all the others, and it's not because it isn't a good book. There's a solid story being told here, and I can understand Remender's problem in writing this. Essentially, we have to make sure our characters, our kind of heroes, have a purpose, have this, the hope that they have of a better world, a better living, coming back together with their family, doesn't get kind of wiped out, and it must be hard to write a story where your characters constantly get beaten down and beaten down. How do you hold on to hope in a world such as that? Now finally, and it is my pick of the week, out of all these books, I'm not saying any other week it might not have been, because it was a great story. It is Kurt Busiek's Astro City. This is issue number 42. I made issue number 41, their 100th issue overall, my pick of the week last month. This is a different type of story, and again, this is another book that's using a different artist for a change. We have on this book, what was their name? So I can get it right, because it is a very different artist, and I bet it's right at the back, isn't it? It usually is with Astro City. Matthew Clark, guest penciler, with Sean Parsons as guest inker. And we are here. If you read Astro City, you will know it's not your average superhero book. It's kind of based in this very golden age themed city, and we don't always see them kind of going off and fighting enemies. You often see stories from the perspective of just the general public who live in Astro City. You see it not only from the hero side, but you see it from the villain side. You see them not necessarily doing great heroic things like saving the planet, but it's kind of like those small moments in their life and the trials and tribulations that their life has to go through while being a big, huge, iconic superhero. This is again another issue that takes it from a different perspective, and that is again from the side of a villain, Mr. Manta, who we find from a flashback within this story is this great big kind of inventor of kind of aquatic themed stuff, and he gets in this big fight, and unfortunately he kind of loses, and it's over the sea, and he gets stranded on an island, and it's clear he's lived there for many, many years. He's built this great big kind of house for himself to live in, but he's still trying to rebuild his old costume so he can go off and go back to his villainous ways. He's stranded there all alone, so he's got plenty of time to sort his kind of home out, and his weapons and his costume that he flies around in, and he has a radio which has never worked, but suddenly he gets this mayday call, and it's this ship that's being attacked by pirates, supervillain pirates. So Manta decides to don his costume, kind of experimental flight experiment to see if it works or not, and he takes down all these pirates, and he suddenly becomes the hero. But all through this, he realizes, has he really missed this life, the loud, brash kind of adulation in this world, and he realizes by the end of it that actually, oh no, I'm quite happy lying on the beach, not necessarily with anything on, as you see in a lot of these pictures, and just enjoying life on his own, leaving the hustle and bustle of Astro City life and the high adventures of being a mastermind villain behind. He's realised that now he's got to that age where he just wants to kick back and relax and chill, and that just made a really good read. It was an entertaining, again, it's from that other perspective that you don't normally see from your regular superhero villain books. So I always love picking up Astro City. I love these done and one that Kurt Busiek does so well. A start, a middle, an end, conclusion were done, and it was just so nicely drawn as well. Again, very different, very kind of almost Jim Lee-esque in parts, very finely detailed, some great action scenes in there. I really highly recommend Astro City if you want some kind of golden age feely stories that don't kind of follow the traditional superhero route of storytelling. And they were my books. I was hoping to keep as positive as I could about them, and I think I did a pretty good job there. And I just want to say now, thank you all for watching. Give this video a big thumbs up. Tell me about the books that you read this week and how you felt about them. Is there anything you're going to be picking up or dropping? Let me know in the comment section below. If you're new to my channel, I do videos all the time. So hit the subscribe button to make sure that they land in your feed. Until next time, bye bye.